if you transition out of working in your business too soon, you have nothing to work on, right? You feel like you need all this team and support around you. You need an assistant, you need an operations person and marketing and tech and all of these things. But then suddenly you get these things and you stop working in the business. And now you got all this team with this great automated business that you've run and you have nothing for them to do. So now you have a decision to make. Do I just keep people on payroll just to have these people on payroll? Or do I get back into the business, start doing some work so I can have some tasks for them to actually do? There's nothing wrong with doing the work. And then the other thing is, what I'm seeing a lot of right now are people who go out and do something one time, have a little bit of success, and now they're done. Mm-hmm. They did enough work. Like sometimes you haven't done enough work to actually. For me, the season that I'm in right now is working in and on the business simultaneously. Yeah. Like I'm seasoned. I'm a seasoned entrepreneur, and I have grown to a point now where I can kind of pick and choose what I want to do. I'm not chasing money. I'm chasing the fuel. Like you say, like I was just so unfulfilled when I stopped coaching. Like I get there's something that happens to me when I'm coaching and people are getting results. And so I'm still in that space, but I also understand that we are building a legacy brand. And so going into the next year, what I'm really focused on is how can we build a brand that doesn't depend on Donni? Mm-hmm. How do we do this so that regardless of what happens to me and in my life, there's still a brand that continues to move on without me? I'm setting up the pieces now. I'm moving towards setting up the pieces now that will impact people that I'll never get to meet, like generations and generations and generations on. So, that's also something to consider. Maybe you've been working in your business and you started working on the business, but maybe the business is all about you right now. Yeah. The more valuable you are to your business, the less valuable your business is. So going into this next phase of where I am, I'm doing work, but I'm doing so much work. The goal is for me to be less valuable in my business.
Welcome to another edition of Social Proof Podcast.
Eat him alive in these Social Proof Podcasts.
Yo, you were outfit shaming me a second ago.
Because your outfit is trash today.
My outfit is trash.
Have you seen yourself? Y'all, he forgot that we were recording today and he just showed up with whatever.
But people aren't looking at my outfit, they're looking at my mind.
Take your head off. Let's see your mind.
Why are you bullying me? This is bullying.
Just take your hat off real quick. I want to see deeper.
How was your week, Wiggins?
My week has been amazing. There's been so much time that's passed since I last saw you in this studio and the set of the Social Proof Podcast. You know what I mean? Yep. Preparing for some travel experience in a couple of days, back at another mastermind. I've been in these mastermind streets. I have decided, though, that for the next year, I am only going to be a part of 2 masterminds maximum.
Okay.
Because 1, I want to dial in on exactly where I am and where I'm going in my business right now. So I'm only focused on masterminds that help me dial in on what I need right now, right? Throughout this year. Yep. And number 2, you can't listen to a whole bunch of coaches. Like all of the information is good information. Most of them are right. Everybody's right. Whatever you tell me to do is probably right. But if I keep going for the shiny new toys and I'm in this program and this program and that program and that program, 6 coaches later, I'm not doing anything because all the information is not necessarily in sync. And you kind of get like decision fatigue. What do I start with first? It's all a good idea. You don't give yourself enough time to actually execute. So this year, I'm being super intentional. We joined one high ticket mastermind. It was like $150,000.
Whose was it?
It is Roland Frazier and Ryan Dice.
Okay. What's it called?
It's called Roundtable. Okay. Roundtable. And it focuses on everything from scaling your business to preparing you for sell and exits and acquisitions and all of that stuff. And that's kind of where I am and where my clients are. Not prepared to sell my business just yet, but there's actually a process that if you ever want to sell your business, you should actually be working on these processes and, just build with the end in mind, so to speak. But that one really just kind of they do a very, very good job of not just giving cool statements and things to say. They do a very good job at making the steps and the lessons actionable. So when I leave, we were already a part of their mastermind. We were a part of one of their boards, founders board or something like that. They have a bunch of them, right? We were already in one, but what I found is that they do a really good job at giving you action steps. So when you leave, you know exactly what you need to do. Yeah. You don't have to go into a dashboard. You don't have to, even though those things are available, you know exactly what to do. And it's like step by step, broken down. Here's where you are. Here's the result that we're talking about getting. These are the steps in between that help you get it. So I'm going to be focused on that. And then this week, I'm going to Webinar Con. Okay. And I have a feeling I will likely join that. This is my first experience.
I want to go so bad. I mean, I can't, but I would. I really want to go, man.
Yeah, I have a feeling I'm going to join because that's just where it's at right now with these webinars. And a lot of the strategies that we've used the last year and a half have become stale. So I just want to see what's new in these streets, what people are doing, new things that I hadn't thought about that work. And because both myself and all of my clients leverage a webinar in some sort of way, I just feel like it's such a big component of how we build business. I have to be there. Mm-hmm. They're not offering anything virtual. But just depending on how that goes, in my mind, I'll probably join something from them. But 2 masterminds for me max this year. Like last year, I was in these streets. And for all different reasons, like nothing really overlapped each other. But what I found at the end of it, because I don't believe in going to multiple coaches for the same problem. Mm-hmm. So you find a doctor for a problem, right? Or you find a coach for a problem. And if you have multiple problems, you get multiple coaches, and that's great. But I've even decided to streamline a little bit more than that and figure out what is the problem that I'm having the most right now, or what do I need to kind of get clearer on right now the most. And I'm sticking to that, getting clear there. I'm jotting down all the ideas, all the other things that come up. I'll jot it down. I'll check your website out later. But this is where I'm at right now until I get this done. So I'm excited about that, actually.
Good. How's the course community going? How these course sales going? What do you think? Course sales?
Course community.
Courses?
So I have mixed feelings about the course community. I have mixed feelings about the course community, right? I think that the pandemic forced a lot of people who should never have been teaching into the teaching space. Mm-hmm. So you have a lot of courses to kind of sift and filter through right now. That's a bunch of fluff and all that good stuff. And then there's some phenomenal courses. And I think because everybody was looking for their next big cash grab, they have flooded the market with courses. And now what has happened is people who are skilled at doing a thing are no longer doing that thing because they see that the money is in the digital information. I sell a course my signature course is teaching people how to start coaching businesses. I am still actively a coach, so I still do that thing. But the course space has transitioned in a way that it's like nobody is offering done for you services anymore. So if you want to learn how to write your SOPs and you go to that person who has this, is phenomenal at writing SOPs, and you go to their website, now they only offer a course. Like, I don't want a course. I want you to do it for me. Nobody is interested in doing the work anymore. Everybody wants to package it up into an offer and sell that offer. And I think if you pay attention to trends and you are struggling to sell this course that you probably shouldn't have launched anyway, I think, it's just me, you should get back into the done for you thing. There's a whole lot of money to be made there too. I think that you should start doing the thing that you're trying to teach other people to do, because so many people have moved away from doing that thing that it's wide open for you right now to crush it.
But the issue is there's been a lot of done for you shaming in the streets. Okay?
Yes.
Meaning if you do a thing, then you're not cool or you're not scaling your business because, oh my gosh, you actually do it?
You do it?
Right? That's what this thing has become. Nobody good is going to do the work anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to have this conversation, whether you like it or not.
Okay.
What we talked about, working in your business versus on your business. And I am a big advocate right now, and Donni may have a different perspective. I am a big advocate for working in your business right now. I am working in my business. I'm in a season right now. It's not about working on the business. I am working in the business. I am doing the work. We here every single day, recording this content, creating a strategy, putting it all together. Because I think the talent pool of people that can actually execute is very, very slim. So me and Reese, we jump in here and we work.
Mm-hmm. I have beef with you about that.
Talk to me.
Like, I almost want to jump out of my seat and lay hands.
Talk to me.
Because...
This makes for a good podcast episode.
I remember early on last year, you said...
Oh, yeah, we'll talk about something else.
Yeah, I remember...
Yeah, you're right. Go ahead.
I remember early on last year, David done for you shamed me.
I did. I actually did.
For you shamed me. David was riding my coattails. You should not be coaching. Why are you doing this? Why are you coaching? You should not. Like, you're never going to be able to scale your business if you're coaching. And I would fight him on it. I would give so much opposition. Like, I understand that. Like, I'm perfectly aware that I only have so many hours in a day, but there is like a burning desire in me to still service in that way and take clients. So David kept going on for months and months and months. Shaming me.
It was very hypocritical because I'm on a call every morning. So.
Yeah. He's on a coaching call, so to speak, every single day. And he's telling me that this is not a good use of my time to be coaching people one-on-one. So eventually he wears me down I think it was like 2021. He wears me down kind of mid 2021. And suddenly I say, no more coaching clients. I'm done. This is not a good use of my time. Like, I'm looking and, he's in the streets and I'm working. David would call, this is what he would do. He would call me. Hey, what you doing? You want to meet? Oh, I got this place you got to be right now. And I'm like, but I got clients. Man, you can never come outside. You always got clients. You're always working. You always have clients. So I'm like, I want to be outside. I want to go outside too. So just cold turkey. I'm like, done. No more clients. I had a roster of maybe 12 to 15 clients at that time. I cut it down to 4. I tried to completely walk away from one-on-one coaching. Then I said, okay, well, I miss coaching. I'm not coaching anymore. I'm just focused on the course and the podcast. I started to miss coaching a couple of months later. So I launched a group coaching program. I love my group coaching program, but I'm telling David, like, I like it, but it's still not giving. It's not giving me that one-on-one energy that I like to feel. They're happy.
Don't do it.
Don't come back.
Your time's too valuable.
Don't go back.
You're letting people buy hours of your time.
You're selling your time by the hour. How cheap are you? How cheap are you to be selling your time by the hour? And so I'm like, well, I'm not like on discount. I'm not clearance coach. You know what I mean? So anyway, the high ticket coaching program is going well. People are getting great results, but there's something that's missing. So this year, I started coaching again. I started taking clients again secretly.
Hold on real quick. Let me tell you something that I just noticed based on what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Donni is doing great, making the money, got the clients. When she shows me her calendar, it gives me anxiety.
Yeah.
Because I see all the colors of like all the bookings. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. So she stops coaching and then she falls into somewhat of a depression.
Yeah.
And then when she starts coaching again,
I'm happy.
Love life is lit.
Love life is lit. I'm happy. I'm like, I am back. I have arrived. So I stopped coaching and literally.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like, so you did. You took 6 months of my time because I'm not coaching anymore. So suddenly I go from like this jam-packed calendar to like all this time. Mm-hmm. And my business outside of me coaching is fully automated, fully. So I'm sitting around and the Stripe is still striping. Like, okay, deposits are still depositing, but I am doing nothing with my time. And I am like, yo, this is not the move. I am becoming like, I am the type of person that I am. I don't need a whole lot of idle time. I don't need to be sitting around staring at the walls and stuff every day. So I sneak back into coaching. I tell my sales team, because we get booked for coaching all the time. We get people who book calls to see. The only call option is for the course, but they will still book to see if they can get this coaching from me. So I tell my sales team, if you come across an application that's strong, I'll open 2 spaces. 2 spaces went that same day. Like, okay. But what I did was I only opened up 2 90-day spaces. Those spaces went the same day. And then after 90 days of that, they're gone. And I'm like, open 2 more. Do it again. Extend your contract. And so I've been back in coaching and I like it. I love it, if I'm being totally honest, because it keeps me sharp. Like, people are always wonder like why I have so much information to give. I'm constantly working with entrepreneurs in such an intimate way that I have to stay sharp. I have to learn new things. Working with my clients requires me to read books and to attend masterminds. Like, they can't get sharper than me. So I have to stay in the mode of learning. Whereas last year, I'm just like, in these masterminds and learning for nothing. Who are we applying this to? Who?
Dang, you know what's crazy? First off, I'm a very hypocritical coach because I was literally coaching. I mean, it's not taking one-on-one clients. It's group coaching. So maybe not hypocritical, but you know what the crazy thing is? I just realized too, as you were talking, is I was projecting my anxieties and my discomforts on my sister.
Yeah, you were. And it got to the point where for a few months straight, we would close the podcast and David would say, well, neither one of us are offering coaching programs. And every time I would like shrink a little in my seat, like, it's like the double Dutch move. Like, I am coaching. No, am I not coaching? We're still not coaching, but I'm getting these calls for coaching. People want to get coached. Why am I turning away this money? Like, people want to get coached. And so one day I called David and I was like, yo, just don't say that anymore, please. Like, don't, because I might open up a space or 2. I might come back to it. And I don't want people to feel like I'm so far removed from being in the field that they're afraid to call when I can really help. So one of the best things that I've done this year was get back into coaching. People need to hear your voice and they need to be told what to do. My course is still selling like I released it in 2020, right? The course is still a course and I'm still getting results, from the course. But there's something also for someone who's a little bit further on. You're not so much at the beginning phase. It's just something about being connected to a person that just validates what you were already thinking or gives you a different perspective on something that you didn't see yourself or just kind of course corrects you a little bit. That's still powerful. You guys, I'm telling you, don't let the Shans of the world bully you out of doing the work in your business, because even though it's probably tiring, it's still valuable. It's still profitable. It's still impactful. You can still make money. You can still make money doing the work. You just have to figure out what parts of the work. So for example, I'm a coach. I used to take the sales calls. I used to do the funnels. I don't do any of that part anymore. Just let me live in the talent. So like if you are, a podcast coach like Shan's, you shouldn't be trying to market to the client yourself. There's a team for that. And then there should be people who are taking those calls. My calendar at the time that you were seeing it a couple of years ago was I was taking the sales call and doing the coaching call and then another sales call and the coaching call. And I just had no time and that part's not fun. So I've taken myself kind of out of certain roles and I'm back in here doing the work.
There's a bigger, deeper conversation to be had in this scenario. And I think that is not letting other people who seemingly know what they're doing for them project on you. So now the dance is, how do you take advice from mentors or people that you respect in business who are getting results? How do you take that information, but recognize when that information is not for you?
Yeah, I think you have to use your intuition sometimes and see what feels good.
What? No. Because most people's intuition and what feels good is based on past experiences.
That's true too.
All right, listen, every single week, every episode, you hear me talking about themorningmeetup.com. It's the community. Let me show you what's happening here. Every single morning, Monday through Friday, there's 400 plus people on a Zoom call, right? We're learning, we're talking, we're growing together, and this is you. There's all these people here. It's all these people in the morning meetup. Hundreds of people reading books, growing. We get together quarterly. It's amazing. And for some reason, you just keep looking at, just go to themorningmeetup.com and get in the circle. And then you'll be like way happier. Just themorningmeetup.com. Let's get back to the episode.
That's true too. I mean, so here's
something the Lord told him. No, you just scared.
You just scared. Well, one thing, and it depends on where you are. So for where we are in business, right? We've been through some things. We're kind of really clear in why we're doing the work that we're doing and what that work looks like. So now this goes back to vision and getting really, really clear about your vision. Because if it doesn't add up, if it's not in alignment with your vision, it's an easy no. So getting really, really clear, where is David Never Sleeps going? Where's David LLC going? Where's the Social Proof podcast going? And then as we're getting opportunities and even as we're getting advice, is this in alignment with what we said we wanted to do? Or is this just another good thing that's dangling? I know at that time that I cut off my coaching program, I actively had clients paying me $120,000 a year. And you know these clients. And then I walk into these masterminds where people are being taught to create programs for like $50,000 a year, $25,000 a year. I'm like, yo, I got people actively paying me $120,000 a year. And I'm letting other people tell me, oh no, that's like a job. You don't want to do that. You're doing too much. And I'm starting to say, I am doing too much. You do want me to be available too much. One person paying you $120,000 a year. It was absolutely in alignment with my vision, because my vision was to work with the higher level CEOs who were performing at a level that had budgets that we could use to market with. Like, you know, I coach clients who are just getting started very well, but there's a bottleneck, and it's usually money. They usually don't have the money to get branding or do marketing or hire copywriters and things like that. But you give me somebody who can afford to pay $120,000. We've got now a person with a budget, and we can try all these new ideas out. It was absolutely in alignment with my vision. But I started to say, oh, that's too much. I shouldn't be doing that. It requires too much of my time.
Yeah. My new message is, let's work in our business. I've heard too many people saying, like, here's the thing. So your business is automated. But if you were to really get in there, like hitting them streets, you 10x your results.
For sure.
You 10x. For sure. That's where I'm at right now. Like, I'm in the streets. I ain't too good to do the work
anymore.
Well, just in the season that we're in, right? So I'm a believer. I'm in a season. Let's just go build. Look. I would never just lock down and do a webinar every single week, but that's what I'm gearing up for, because we're gonna jump into a season where we run tens of thousands of people into this morning meetup, and then maybe I'll jump out of that season and then cultivate the growth and maybe not be so on like building the business, but not building the business and like taking care of family and kind of taking care of myself mentally, things of that nature. And I think it's just these seasons, but you got to be very, very careful. I remember I was on a call with Spectacular, who's, you know, just super, super rich, him 500, like all these people were on this call, and they're talking about the results and, you know, how they got clients and all that kind of stuff. And they're like, yo, what do you do? Because a lot of people on the call didn't know. And I'm telling them about this morning meetup, $79 a month. They're like, yo, you're bugging. It's like, yo, you need to at least make it 197 because the higher you charge, the more quality person and the quality people, they do the work. And I'm like, what was crazy is I never, ever wavered. Even while they were telling me, I never thought to myself, yeah, I'm going to have to shut it down. I never thought that because one, I wasn't necessarily looking at it as the best way to make money, but it was the best way to bring a community together that feeds me. I'm being on the call helps me just like it helps the people on the call. So I'm not thinking because you don't like the strategy, I'm not going to do something I love. But then I turn around and tell Donni, and she just wasn't as strong as I am.
Yeah, that's a fact. I literally snuck myself back into coaching. But the other thing too, like if you transition out of working in your business too soon, you have nothing to work on, right? You feel like you need all this team and support around you. You need an assistant, you need an operations person and marketing and tech and all of these things. But then suddenly you get these things and you stop working in the business. And now you got all this team with this great automated business that you've run and you have nothing for them to do. So now you have a decision to make. Do I just keep people on payroll just to have these people on payroll? Or do I get back into the business, start doing some work so I can have some tasks for them to actually do? There's nothing wrong with doing the work. And then the other thing is, what I'm seeing a lot of right now are people who go out and do something one time, have a little bit of success, and now they're done. They did enough work. Like sometimes you haven't done enough work to actually. For me, the season that I'm in right now is working in and on the business simultaneously. Yeah. Like I'm seasoned. I'm a seasoned entrepreneur. And I have grown to a point now where I can kind of pick and choose what I want to do. I'm not chasing money. I'm chasing the fuel. Like you say, like I was just so unfulfilled when I stopped coaching. Like I get there's something that happens to me when I'm coaching and people are getting results. And so I'm still in that space, but I also understand that we are building a legacy brand. And so going into the next year, what I'm really focused on is how can we build a brand that doesn't depend on Donni? How do we do this so that regardless of what happens to me and in my life, there's still a brand that continues to move on without me? I'm setting up the pieces now. I'm moving towards setting up the pieces now that will impact people that I'll never get to meet, like generations and generations and generations on. So, that's also something to consider. Maybe you've been working in your business and you started working on the business, but maybe the business is all about you right now. Yeah. The more valuable you are to your business, the less valuable your business is. So going into this next phase of where I am, I'm doing work, but I'm doing so much work. The goal is for me to be less valuable in my business.
And I want to say that we got really, really good cameras here because you can't see like the lint balls on Donnie's sweater. That looks really, that is really, really good. That joint looks crazy a little bit.
First of all,
in real life,
you can't see the lint balls on your pants either.
I know, these pants are terrible. Okay. Anyway, point is, do what you love. Work really, really hard. Don't just work on your business, but work in your business. Don't take your foot off the gas. Stop listening to your mentors.
No.
Say no.
No.
Listen, stop making courses because you think that's going to make you $1 million because you did something good one time.
I mean, your chargeback rates have to be absurd. Like you might, you may manage to sell.
Are we talking about that right now?
Oh, we can. Yeah, let me tell you what this guy did to me and Dave. Can we talk about it?
I mean, I don't want to say the person's name.
I won't say his name. People be trifling. Listen.
Reese, as she's telling that story, can you make her camera a little warmer?
You also need to be working in your business so that you can afford the things that happen to your business, right? So David and I...
Don't say the person's name.
I will not say that person's name. I'm not crass. Like I have tact.
Good.
You know what I mean? This guy, let me give you his Instagram. I won't say his name. So David and I sold a service
We didn't sell it. He bought it. I mean, it's like he paid for it.
He paid for it. So David and I have a business concept that we don't really talk about a whole lot. It's an if you know type of thing. You can go to the website. You can purchase this service, right? He purchases the service. The service requires that you schedule the time with us. He never schedules the time. So he purchases the service because the price for that service was going up. And he's like, hey, is it okay if I just purchase it, even if I don't schedule a time with you right now, and we schedule the time later? I said, sure, but this is non-refundable. Yeah, cool. I just want to go ahead and lock in at this price. Cool. 8 months later.
8 months later.
How many months?
8 months.
8 months later, I get a DM. Hey, Donni. Wait. That person whose name I won't say comes into the studio, or used to come into the studio
on regular
every week on a regular to get business advice. We have supported their business openly on the Social Proof podcast. Yeah. Dang. We have promoted for free their business openly on the Social Proof podcast. And then 8 months later, I get a DM for a refund. I responded and said, hey, I told you that this was not refundable. Well, where does it say it on the website? Is what he says to me. Where on the website does it say
it? Okay.
So you come and sit in here and get free business coaching almost every week. You've been doing this for over a year. We have sponsored your stuff on the podcast, shouted you out, talked about how awesome it is. And you just, where does it say that at on the pod? Where is it at in your terms and conditions? So instantly, I'm not even going to respond to that with a where you can find it. Okay. Instantly, I say, don't worry about it. We'll send you your money back.
But you're skipping steps too, because they were here mad times and we're reminding, when you going to schedule your joint?
Yeah, we're reminding them over and over and over again. So this was like fresh. We're reminding them over and over. And, yeah. We got it. Hold on, because he just texted me today. So it's easy to go.
Did he really?
Here. He just DM'd me today.
Wow.
So he sends a message and he says, requesting a refund for the service. It's a couple of things I got to get situated for the time being. So I said it's non-refundable, blah, 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 blah. He said non-refundable was never mentioned. Well, yes, in fact, it was. Also, can you show me where it says that on the website, basically? I said, no. So then I hit David and I said, are you cool if I just refund this person their money? And he's like, yeah, we're talking about $3,000. Remember that part where I said, keep working in your business because you got to be able to afford things that happen to your business. So we're talking about $3,000.
And we be making money in our business too. So, and the money just sit there. Anyway.
And the money just sits there.
At this point, it's principle.
It's principle. We're not tripping over the money. I'm tripping over the 8 months later and you just fixed your mouth to tell me that you didn't know that it was non-refundable. Okay. The emotionally intelligent version of Donni just sent David a message. Are you cool if we refund this person his money? He was like, yeah. But we have a rule. You cannot come back to the podcast. Like when you do something that is in violation of how we run our business and you're wrong, you just can't come back to the podcast. So I said, hey, no problem. I spoke to David. We're happy to refund your payment from 8 months ago. I said that. No problem. I spoke to David. We're happy to refund your payment from 8 months ago. Unfortunately, you guys will no longer be allowed at our podcast studio for free coaching. Okay. What email did you use to pay? And we'll have the team process your refund immediately. Then they reply with well, I'm willing to talk to you guys, and speak to you because I don't want it to be awkward and we can't come back to the studio. You want us to refund $3,000 and you think you're going to come and keep sitting in here getting this free and raise your hand with questions and all of this feedback be in the environment. So he said, I'm happy to talk to you. My response, hey, no worries, none at all. The transaction was so long ago. He paid through PayPal.
Mhm.
The transaction was so long ago that PayPal is no longer offering me an option to refund you. We can Zelle your money back minus the transaction fee from PayPal, as we can't recoup that fee from 8 months ago.
So here, we'll put a pin in that real quick. So 8 months ago he pays. And we're like, okay, we're not making a big deal about it. It's just,
Principle.
why? What's up with you? Like, all right, fine. You can have your money back. No problem. But because it's so long,
Mm-hmm.
we can't just hit refund
Mm-hmm.
where, they take the money out of our account or whatever. But with PayPal, there's transaction fees,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So, in quick answer, no story, Sean, okay? Who, with this fee, because they can't do it anymore, we have to refund it. But when you pay $3,000, we don't get $3,000.
We get $2,800.
We get $2,800.
We got $2,894.
28 something. So about $105
Mm-hmm.
transaction. Question for you. If you are requesting this refund, how much are you expecting to get back? They paid $3,000, but Donnie's showing we only got $2,995. We got $2,900, right? We got $2,900. Now, PayPal won't refund it because it's so long ago. So now we have to dig into our account and give you the money back. No problem.
No problem.
But we didn't get $3,000. We got $2,900.
Mm-hmm.
How much are we supposed to give him back? $2,900 or $3,000?
So you still think $3,000?
So we should give the $3,000. Interesting. That is interesting.
No. First of all, he violated our terms and conditions by requesting a refund on a non-refundable offer. We're giving you grace and giving you the refund.
We're just giving it to him.
But it's now been so long that I cannot, PayPal won't even allow me to, I want to give you the whole $3,000, but PayPal won't allow me to refund you at all. So now I got to reach into my purse and say, here, take your money. However, if I reach into my purse, I'm not giving you the $105 that I never received. PayPal would have refunded that fee normally if it was requested within a reasonable time. But now it's so unreasonable that PayPal's like, we ain't giving it back either.
Right. So we have to not only give the money back, but also pay PayPal for the inconvenience.
Yes.
Hold on. Do we have a mic, Reese? Because they're not even going to be able to hear you.
Why did we deny him? We didn't deny him.
We're not denying. Yeah, we'll give, bro, whatever we got, you can have that back.
You can have it.
No problem.
So it's like, why didn't we,
Reese, tell them to stop vacuuming for a minute, if you don't mind.
Just open that door and tell them to stop vacuuming.
No, they're not going to, you're going to yell and you can't hear that.
Hey, no.
So it's interesting that you would expect us, this is 100%, 8 months ago. If you buy a camera from Best Buy, right? And you take the camera back, they're going to charge you a restocking fee, period, every time. So your point, you're saying that we should actually not only give him his money back, but we should lose $100 because
he decided to wait so long.
And it says that there's no refunds.
No refunds. It says it and he's been told
the
it.
The website says it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the website says it.
Everything's no refunds.
So we could say, yo, no refunds, bro. Look, it's here.
I could have been a hard butt just out the gate. Like, yo, I told you also in person, no refunds. I probably told you on camera at some point, no refunds. I could be a 5-letter word starts with a B and say no refunds. But because it's more of a hassle to go back and forth with you in the DMs than it is for me to just hit the refund option, I'm going to give you the money back. So I go into PayPal. I try to hit the refund option. There is no refund option. I hit PayPal's chat team up. What happened? Well, it's been too long. You can't process the refund. That person's going to have to contact their bank. So I hit him and say, I don't want him to have to go through that inconvenience. Listen, the transaction was so long ago that PayPal is no longer authorizing a refund. We can Zelle your money minus the transaction fee that PayPal collected. I send him a screenshot showing him exactly what we collected, which was the $28.94. His response, with all due respect.
You know it's about to start. You know it's about to get weird.
With all due respect, I'm requesting the full $3,000. However, that money is broken, including the PayPal fee, was never stated, explained, or documented anywhere. I really don't wish for this to become a bigger problem because it's definitely not my intention.
Yeah, well, you made it to the podcast, so here we are.
All right. So I then tell him, because I'm holding firm, what I'm not going to do is lose money. I'm not going to pay for your lapse in decision making. We are not going to eat this $105 at this point, sir. It is the principle. Yep. You're trying it. You better take this $28.94 and get on with your life. Because the non-entrepreneur version of me is about to surface, but I'm staying intact. So I said, hey, do this. I'm coaching him now. If you want the full $3,000 back, you'll have to log into your PayPal account and simply dispute the charge. We won't hold that against you. Just dispute the charge. I'll honor it on our end. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's the only way that PayPal will reverse that fee. Obviously, we aren't going to absorb that fee because you waited 8 months to request a refund. Go ahead and do the dispute. It'll take a little longer to get your money back, but I will not argue it. I'll honor it.
I like that. Listen, if I was going to teach you how to make $1 million, would you give me 10,000? Like if I had a course teach you how to make $1 million a year positive, you're going to make $1 million, would you give me 10,000? Of course you would. It's no brainer, right? So in a calendar year, we make 7 figures with the podcast. But there's 21 things that I extracted from that you're going to need to launch a podcast. But I only got time to give you 3 right now. One is you need a distribution platform. The distribution platform is what you upload your podcast to. That platform sends it to Spotify, Apple, Google Play, so that your supporters can actually listen to your podcast. You're also going to need a microphone. You need a really good microphone so it's crispy audio. And 3, you need an income strategy. This is not necessarily a hobby, unless you're going to make it a hobby. But I can teach you how I made the 7 figures with these 21 things. Now, the good news is you don't have to give me 10,000. My ebook is only $37, okay? So listen, go to podcastebook.com and get the 21 things that you need. And I can explain it in detail, all the things that you need, okay? Podcastebook.com. Let's get to the episode. Donnie's saying, yo, okay, let's work through this issue. I want you to get your money back, all of it. So just go dispute it. Now, it's a ding on our side, on our processor, if we get a dispute. But Donnie's like, yo, go ahead, no problem. You'll get your money back, no problem. Mm-hmm. Now what happens?
So then he says, indeed, will do. Thanks, and I apologize for asking for a refund. Wasn't my foresight nor my intention at all. That's just not how I move. Well, this is in fact the movement.
It's kind of how you're moving.
This is the movement. So he goes on about his business. The next day, he sends me a message. Hey, Donni, just got off the phone with both my bank and PayPal. They are both mentioning to get the refund through you because it's been so long that they're not able to dispute it past so many days. Also, the bank told you and PayPal told you that there's nothing. Sir, it's been so long, we can't dispute this charge either. So then I just wrapped it up. Gotcha. We can refund you as I stated earlier, minus the fee. We will not absorb the fees that we can't recoup for any reason. Refund amount will be $28.94. Please send your Zelle.
And then what did he say?
He sent me his Zelle.
Yo, here's my question. Okay, for all of my friends in the chat, what do you think we should have done? Okay, this person obviously, maybe they're just trying to think of, any opportunity to get some money. Maybe they're in a situation. I get it. What do y'all think we should have done? Should we absorb the fee for his error in decision making? It's not like we got over on him. It's not like we sold him something he didn't know he was going to get. He just didn't. He didn't do it. It's supposed to be like a coaching session.
Yeah, he didn't do it. He never scheduled. And keep in mind, I attempted to refund him and was willing to give him back the whole $3,000. But PayPal said, no, you can't do it. It's too late. I told him to dispute the charge. His bank, so he could get the full $3,000.
His bank
said
no. Yo, why are you doing this?
Why are you doing this, sir? What's going on? His bank is saying no. And I thought about it for a minute. Well, maybe he's having an issue paying his rent or whatever because nobody does this, right? So take the money. But what I didn't think was the right thing, and obviously his bank nor PayPal thought so either, was for you to be requesting this refund at Fulham. You want us to pay the cost for you coming back 8 months later. It's not going to happen. If you go and buy an appliance, there's a restocking fee. You go into a department store that's several months later, you might get without a receipt. Sometimes they give you whatever the cheapest amount. You could have purchased a $200 sweater. If you don't have your receipt and that sweater went on sale for $13, at Macy's, you're going to get $13. Okay. There's a fee for your poor decision making. That there's a fee for that. There's a cost. I, for no reason, and I'm a fair businesswoman, it's easier for me to say, give them their money back. I don't need the $105. But now you are trying to force my hand.
Strong arm.
You're trying to strong arm me for money that I never received. It's a merchant processing fee, you guys. When people pay you through PayPal or Stripe, which is the merchant keeps a percentage and deposits the rest of that in your bank. Usually, if somebody requests a refund, you process it through your merchant and the merchant refunds what you got and the portion that they got. Nobody on our end gets to keep the money. The customer gets it all back. But because he waited so long, PayPal's like, no.
Yeah, I bought a sweater. Actually, Donni bought the sweater for me. I gave her the money, but I couldn't. It was too small. Right? I need like a bigger size. I try to get that, I try to exchange it. They like, nope. 10 days. Most places are 90 days because they understand how business works. Like, we'll have a certain amount of money and we're liable every 90 days for the past 90 days. Everything that was sold in the last 90 days could be refunded. So we keep a 90-day reserve. But 91 day, we deploy it to investors or to our employees, whatever. But we keep that reserve. Because after this 90-day period, this is long enough for somebody to make a decision.
Yeah.
8 months. And here's the thing, to Donnie's point, it's all in your relationship and your approach. I believe if my man was like, yo, I am in a real, real bad situation. Miss Donni, started with Miss Donni. Miss Donni.
Can I talk to you?
Yeah, this is embarrassing.
This is embarrassing.
But I really, really I'm not in a position where I should have made that financial decision. Is it possible to do a refund? If the tone of the conversation was that way, I'm 100% positive we'd have ate the $100. 100%.
But when you hit me with all due respect.
But where's it at on the website? Nobody told me.
And then you hit me with then just humble yourself. Like when I said, hey, you guys were told no refunds. And your response to me is, well, where is it at on the refund on the website? Nobody told me. I didn't see it in your terms and conditions. Oh, so now you're hitting me with facts, with what you think are facts. Let me respond with these facts. You better take this $28.94 that I don't have to give you because there's another company. Like, think about this. And this is a big deal. Like, people are looking at this part of the podcast episode and they're laughing.
I'm wondering what the comment section is saying right
yes, now. They're laughing. Like, half of them are saying we should have just gave them the whole thing because we got it, right? But there's principle in this because think about you as a small business owner who don't have that yet. Who 8 months later, you cannot give somebody a $3,000 refund. Like, you can't base your decision of what you think we should have done based off of what you think we have. We have teams. We have several households that we take care of. Like, imagine everybody coming back a year later saying, I need a refund. That's just not how business works. It's just not how it works. And you have to do the right thing here. But this particular person had enough relationship equity with David and I to approach us just a little bit differently, right? And when I told him there were no refunds, when he sat in that chair right there. First of all, we've been telling him no refunds since we were in the other studio.
Wearing his hoodies and all that.
Wearing his hoodies, like wearing your clothes. We've been wearing your clothes. I shouted you out several times.
Yeah, I think I might have bought at least $100 worth of apparel for my man. So
I purchased apparel too. Like, so the audacity for you, like, we're not strangers to you. The audacity for your response to be, where's that at? Nobody ever mentioned that to me. So now it's coupled with principle and the fact that you're kind of telling a lie and you know that you're telling a lie. right? And I even reminded him that days before his business partner was right here. And when we walked out, she said, Miss Donni, I still want to work with you. I still can't wait to work with you. Like, and I said, yo, tell your business partner, y'all got to get on the calendar. Like, let's make that happen. And that must have reminded him, because I said to him, I literally just told your business partner, who was again at the podcast for free, getting this game, who mentioned on her way out that she really still wants to work. I reminded her that you guys need to get that date on the calendar. Oh, yeah, well, she told me what you said. I think that was the reminder, and he may have been in like a money crunch, and he remembered, oh, that's where I can get a large sum of money from. Unfortunately, business owners can't plan around your emergency. And there's a right thing that you have to do too. And I'm so big because if I'm being totally honest, I might have been that person too. There may be a past version of me that tried to do that too. Let me get this refund. Let me do it. I don't care. Y'all make all this money. TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Macy's. You make all this money. Give me my money back, right? It's a different dynamic when you're dealing with small business owners. It's a very different dynamic when you're dealing with small business owners. And the energy that you're putting out, especially as somebody who's building a business, is the energy that you're going to turn around and receive. 100%. 100%. Anyway, we're off of that. He got his money.
Yeah, you sent him the money?
If it was in the terms, like, from my perspective, I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe on y'all end, y'all didn't have it in the terms and conditions, and he was just trying to finesse and take advantage of that. But I'm like, y'all probably had that. And y'all probably said it on the website, no refunds. Y'all probably had it in the terms and conditions, because y'all do that with every product y'all have. So I'm thinking in my head, well, why is he trying to finesse that?
I'm interested, though, in wondering why you feel that we should absorb the cost, the processing fee of a bad decision. You did.
I'm saying you should if you didn't specify about the refund.
Let's say, for instance, we didn't specify it.
On the website? So it's not on the website.
Let's say it's not on the website. We did not specify it, let's say.
Yes.
And we gave a refund, but you can't get it back from the processor that you paid for with PayPal, whatever. You can't dispute it. You're still saying we should come out. Why should we be penalized for you making a decision and then trying to pull it back?
Only if you didn't specify, like, so for example, on like you've seen some of the webinars and courses and stuff like that, they'll say a X amount of money back, or you'll get everything back if you don't like it, for example. And if there's no time window or anything like that specified, then they can try to finesse that. But on the purchase page, like on the terms, conditions, whatever it is, hey, if under this, like under just like stores, if under these circumstances you can't refund it after this, that's why the banks turn them away. That's why PayPal turned them away, because they've written that out clearly, and they didn't even ask.
Where where in the bank's terms and conditions does it say? I bet he didn't research that.
Yeah, he didn't research.
I bet he didn't call it. Hey, bank, where does it say you can't go get my money back after I spent it out of the account?
And they would have pulled it because they have it. Like
What I'm saying is, he did not say, "Oh, well, it doesn't say that on the website." It didn't say that to them. He didn't say that to them.
That's the thing. It does say it on the very clearly. That's why they take it.
Yes, where
on the bottom portion, they literally have they have all of it.
What do they say?
It literally said there's a terms and conditions. There's a pricing. There's
go tell me where it's at. Ashan, you're saying it like you read it.
That's all.
And
I'm saying.
I know you did not.
Yeah.
You're guessing. Because PayPal said it, they would not say it if it's not true. That's what you're going off of.
No, I'm saying
you didn't see it.
Attention.
No, pull it up. Pull it up where it's very clearly at the bottom.
All right.
You're about to make something up.
I'm just saying, as a big corporation, you have to, if they didn't have that on the website.
I'm just asking you to show it to me.
Let me say this too, while you're looking for that. Because
you're not going to look for it.
This brought up a good point. We really didn't have to refund them anything.
Not at all.
Okay, so because let me tell you this, you decided to pay through PayPal. So you do business with PayPal. When you do business with PayPal, you agree to PayPal's terms and conditions.
Exactly.
PayPal's terms and conditions says that PayPal transactions can only be refunded within 180 days of making or receiving a payment.
Are not FDIC insured, not bank secured.
My man went through, that's Bank of America. What are we looking at?
Let's just say he banks with Bank of America. He called Bank of America.
Okay, but this says are not insured by federal government, are not conditioned. That's not what
you're not insured. Your money is not insured.
This
and
is good.
Just like when you try to pull money out of a bank, you're only insured a certain amount. They say that.
Yes. On the door, it says that they're insuring $250,000.
Correct.
Get it.
They have
100%.
That's why
my point is, it's not clear. It's at the bottom of PayPal. I don't know if they're saying, yo, hey, make sure you don't do any transactions and want your money back within 180 days. It's not saying that. My point is, it might be in their terms and conditions.
Yes.
But he's not digging through that to find it. Because he's just saying, so I have a t-shirt brand, right?
Yeah.
We mail out the t-shirt to the person.
Yeah.
We send them a tracking number.
Yep.
The person can see that the post office has the package.
Correct.
Now, it's taking a long time for this package to get from that. It shows in the tracking received by the post office. It's taking a long time to get to them. This was like a holiday season or something like that.
Yeah.
This person is on my head saying, yo, I want my money back. I mailed it. The post office has the package. He said, I called the post office. They said they don't have it. Look on the tracking. It shows they received it. Yep. I want my money back. Question. I'm a small business at this time.
Yeah.
Why don't you get so aggressive with the post office who actually has your package? Because I can't go to the post office. Hey, that package, you know that package you picked up and it's probably in transit land? Can I get that back? Because I'm about to refund this person their money back and I don't want to refund the money and then the package gets to their house and I gave them their money and they have the shirt.
These people are jerks. They try to take it. If you're that accessible, they will.
Yo, this person is not going to take up the beef with the post office. They're only going to take up the beef with the business. And then it turns into, oh, well, that's why I don't do businesses with black business. You're not going to say, oh, that's why I don't do business with PayPal.
You just said,
go get your money from PayPal. I
should have made him send us a small claims court.
You shouldn't have said anything. That's what I'm saying. I don't think I should have sent him any money.
I should have made you take us a small claims.
We're not that guy. We're not.
We're not going to do that, right? We're not going to do that. Like in my heart, I said, no problem. I'm going to give you the refund.
100%.
But I'm not paying that fee that we never received because you waited 8 months later. And now the small business owner, let me just give you this nugget. PayPal's terms and conditions is that after 180 days, they will not allow you to issue a refund. So at that point, it's your choice based on your own policies to just send them money like you're sending anybody else money through PayPal or send them money in some alternative way, but they will block you from doing that. So when you're putting together your refund policies and all of these things and you're accepting money through PayPal or any merchant, like this is a good idea to research the merchants that you use and make sure that your refund policy is in alignment with theirs, period. Or it can cost you money in the long run. He got $28.94 though.
He got that $28.94.
Because we were being generous.
That's what I'm saying. You wrote it down and he tried to take advantage of that.
As I'm recalling what actually happened, David and I had done something on live video and we said, $3,000 is the price today. At the end of this month, the price goes up. We don't care if you haven't locked in your date yet. Just choose a random date. You will be locked in at this price. There are no refunds. So be sure that this is what you want to do. Like I can pull that video up. Forget what the page said. You heard what I said. I said it right there on a live platform. Stop playing with me.
But shouts out to my man because we gave him his money back. And hopefully, people are listening and think. For one, we are the type. We'll give you your money back. It's not that big. If you're in a situation, I get it, but come like respectfully. You know what I mean? Don't like try to bully somebody. And also, this is for the entrepreneur too. Make sure this joint's super clear on your website. Now you don't want to make it super clear, right? You don't want to make it the first thing. No refunds on the home screen. You feel me?
Real clear.
That's why PayPal, I bet that 180 days is in that thing that you just scrolled to the bottom and said, I agree with.
It's in their terms and conditions. And because I know you watch the podcast, he is going to say, well, I did tell her that it's embarrassing. You did tell me that you had a situation that was quite embarrassing, but it was after. Non-refundable was not ever mentioned to me, to any of us. It doesn't mention it in the emails. It doesn't mention it in blah, 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 blah. Okay. It was after that. And it was also, you told me, you shared that with me after I'd already agreed to give you the refund. So don't play with us there either. And really the only reason that I just believe that if somebody request a refund in that way, right? Even though it was non-refundable, because I had an idea of who he was and we have some relationship equity, I truly felt like he must need this money because you know us in real life. It would be embarrassing otherwise to press the issue like this. Give him the money.
Yeah. And there was another scenario, a whole nother situation where a person wanted a refund from another person that we know, but the person admitted that they didn't do all the things. So if I promised 10 things and you only did 9, well, you didn't complete it, right? So when they told me that, I told the person, yo, just give me my money back. Yo, listen, I am the first person, hey, take your money back. Somebody hit me today. So I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, I can't. So it was a period of time that we were fulfilling, right? But what I did was I was like, well, I want to kind of accelerate the lessons and I'll add some extra stuff. And I told everybody else, instead of closing it in January, we'll close it in November. But I'm going to give you all the calls. I'm going to do all the calls. Except I was doing like once every 2 weeks. And now it's just doing like a bunch of back-to-back just to make sure you get as many calls, not the time frame, as many calls as you are promised. But I guess the person didn't get that memo. And now I'm about to call the person and like let them know if they were expecting a thing and I didn't fulfill it, you're in the right, I'm in the wrong. I am not holding nobody's money, especially if I didn't do it exactly how you expected it. Now, we might have a conversation where you poured a lot into it and maybe there's a partial but whatever, I can't argue if you want your money back. I'm just not the person. I'm just not arguing with people like that. And especially if I changed it during the process. But in this scenario, we didn't change anything. Yeah. You feel me? So, and we're still like, yo, we'll just give your money back. But just know, there's a lot of people, it ain't going to be that case. You're not going to deal with entrepreneurs who like operate in integrity. And I like to think that we really, really operate in integrity.
Yeah, but on the flip side of that, if we chose not to give the refund, we would still be operating in integrity.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
In this case, we operated out of generosity, not necessarily out of integrity.
For sure.
We operated out of generosity. We wanted to give you the refund. There was no question there after, you pushed the issue. The question was only in that fee, the fee that we will not, for any reason, pay.
That's $28.94.
Too. Because the power is in my hands. If I listed it and say, hey, there's no refunds on and you ask for a refund, I have the decision to do it. Now you have to come correctly. If you don't, sorry, no refund. Y'all were generous though.
I had a scenario where I was doing coaching on a podcast where, I'm just doing like a one-on-one coaching session. And the person thought that they were being interviewed. But it's very clear that it was Q&A. I said it mad times. Yo, I will coach you. You can ask me any question and I will answer it. So the person, I guess, like we did the episode and we actually put it out. And the person, I guess people in the comments was saying, yo, I don't think the guy has any questions. They just want to tell their story. Because in the conversation, I'm like, yo, if you have a question, I can answer the question. And I had to kind of like reel them back. Like, yo, this is like Q&A. And before the interview, I'm like, yo, we're having prep talk. Okay, what are your questions? Make sure you have some questions because this is Q&A. We release it. The comments are like, yo, why isn't the guy asking any questions? It's crazy. And he hit back and said something like, it wasn't what I expected, even though we talked about it mad long before. And I gave him his money back. Like, even after I did the work, I gave him his money back. Mm-hmm. Because I just believe that it's easier to do that. I'd rather give that money back than someone be able to go around town saying, oh, Dave is this and Dave is that. And you might ruin an opportunity for one or two people to pay me more than what you paid me. So I think that what's most important is that we have a clean name.
Yep.
Can't nobody say we ever took advantage of them. Can't nobody ever say that like we got over on them. My major thing is let's have a good name. And sometimes having a good name costs you. Mm-hmm. It costs you.
And the lesson in this is have clearly established terms and conditions and make them super clear because people will push the envelope. Number 2 is keep the money through that terms and conditions period. So if there's a 3-month refund policy, like Dave said earlier, you can't spend that money because if people wait until the 89th day and you don't have it, you're in a bigger situation. Your account, sometimes the merchant will process the refund and draft it from your account. And the bank, because you've done so much business, will allow them to process that draft. And now you're in the negative. And you, because you were now irresponsible, you're costing yourself so much more. Other people will also, other times you can also be sued. Like people will sue you depending on how much the money is. So clearly outline and define terms and conditions. Research what your merchant providers' terms and conditions are regarding refunds, and keep the money in reserve. The money does not belong to your business until after your refund policy has expired.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what I just thought of? That's how they come up with the terms and conditions. All that stuff. Somebody did something crazy and it was like, yep, let's put it in terms and conditions. Yeah. Oh, and then somebody else did something else crazy that the company didn't think of. They're like, you'll get me once, not twice. Put it in terms and conditions. And then we come up with a laundry list of things that nobody's going to read. You scroll to the bottom. That's how many issues things have had. That's how many times there's been an issue. You scroll to the bottom and just hit I agree.
I'm texting Marshall right now and I'm asking him to add a no refunds box that they have to check and acknowledge. That's an automatic win.
See? This is how businesses are grown, okay? Issue, fix the issue. Moving forward, let's just make sure we don't have the issue anymore. All right. Donni Wiggins, this was a good episode. Episode sponsored by
NoRefunds.com.
No refunds.
That's probably a website. Episode is sponsored by Don't Try Me Over $105.com.
Shout out to my man. Listen, if I see you in the streets, man, let's talk about it.
Yep, I hope you got your money. I hope that it definitely helped you with whatever emergency you're experiencing right now. And thank you for giving us content for the day. Absolutely. All right. I know you're mad at us, but we mad at you too.
Well, we didn't say your name, so we
didn't say your name.
Just know this is our heart. This is how we feel about the situation. Okay, so if I see you in the streets, man, don't be mad. Okay, don't try to fight me.
But you just can't see us in the Social Proof podcast.
You gotta catch you in the streets.
You gotta catch us outside. But thank you for the content for the day. This episode is brought to you by 6 Figure EDU. If you are someone and you know something about something and you want to grow your own coaching, consulting, or course business, 6 Figure EDU will develop you from scratch on how to create your own 6-figure coaching, consulting, or course-related business. You can go to 6figureedu.com. That's the word 6figureedu.com. And if you're an established entrepreneur, you already have your concept figured out, but you're struggling to connect online on social with your audience. You're getting followers, but you're not getting the cash. Post to Paid is a service where I send you 3 text messages every single day. All you have to do is have the video or the photo, and I tell you exactly what to say, words that convert into cash. Text 404-737-27 67. Just text me the words post to paid. $37 a month right now, and we'll get you in and help you start making money on your from your social media.
Absolutely. I just got a text from somebody. This guy, he ordered a shirt, and I think my website was on my phone. Am I lying? I'm not making this up for content. At 4:31, I just got this text, right? So this guy, I guess he got my phone number because I think my phone number is still on that website, which is kind of crazy. But he ordered a shirt from the website, but it just so happened that the person who was doing the shipping wound up like not working with the company anymore. And I don't even know like the code to the stores where the product is and all kinds of stuff. And he bought a shirt for his sister. And he's like, man, she would really, really love this shirt. And he actually hit me like, yo, what can we do? What can we do? I'm like, I got to find out if I can get it out on time. I couldn't get it out on time. So he sent me another message. He said, hey, bro, can you refund me that $30 for that shirt I never got? The Faith shirt for my sister's birthday. For reference, I have faith in you. I appreciate it. I said, man, absolutely. I'm sorry I didn't expect someone to quit. That same day, sent the refund. Sent the refund. Thanks so much. Have a blessed shirt. I would love to get that shirt from you guys. If you can, let me know when you get more. So then I actually had my guy go actually ship out all the orders in that time period. It took like a week or a week and a half for me to like get it going. And I told my guy to, ship out that person's shirt anyway. He already got his money, but just ship out the shirt because his sister was really expecting it. And he literally texted me back literally 20 minutes ago. He said, bro, you are so ... awesome! ! 4 exclamations. I appreciate you very much, sir. That was very nice of you. My sis loves it. God bless you and your family. I feel really, really good about that because I felt bad. Dang, he wanted to get it for a gift. Get your money back and get you your shirt. You conduct business that way.
Conduct good business.
This episode is sponsored by The Morning Meetup. The Morning Meetup, the only organization that gathers every single day, Monday through Friday. I am teaching. This is not just you getting a course. This is not evergreen. This is me live every single day. And the days that I'm not live, I got people like Donni Wiggins or some of your other successful people that you find on the Social Proof Podcast filling in 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. What's interesting is my most prized possessions, my brain in course form. I have a course that I sell for $2,000 that helps people start, grow, and monetize their podcast, and a high level, very practical content creation course that I put in the podcast, that I put in the portal of the Morning Meetup for absolutely free. Do you know how much you can get that for, Sean? $79 a month. Or you can just sign up for the year for $3.99, and you'll talk to me every day for a year, Monday through Friday. The most valuable organization ever. Okay, we do series, we do a book read, we read books together. If you want to grow as an entrepreneur, if you're stuck, if you can't find that pool of customers, come into the community. It's a community of people. If you can't find nobody in your city that got the same mindset as you, you need to come into the community. If you can't find accountability, you need to come on to the community. If you want to find a part of your morning routine that's going to inspire you to be great, you need to join the Morning Meetup. Go to themorningmeetup.com right now, or go to your app store and type in The Morning Meetup. The Morning Meetup. We have an app, and you can just keep us in your pocket. You get notifications every single morning with the Zoom link to join the call live. It's not webinar mode. It's not like you see me and nobody else. You see 100 little boxes. And literally, it's over 400 people on a call every single day. So go to themorningmeetup.com, subscribe to this podcast, stop doing refunds after 188 days.
I think you use all of your adjectives in that sponsorship.
Did you like that?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely showcased your vocabulary, but you used all of your adjectives.
I have no more. I'm done. Hit the subscribe button, y'all. We out. Peace.